Well met travellers, today's game is a game that I've wanted to play again for quite some time. It is TOCA 2, and you may be thinking, my goodness, if you tried to play this game on Windows 7 you may be thinking, well I couldn't get it to work, it wouldn't load the races. Well, I found a patch so it works now, which means I get to play it. Hooray! It's kind of annoying actually, because the main reason why I bought my IBM Aptiva is because I wanted to play this game, but it wouldn't run very well on my Aptiva. Didn't have a graphics card, you see. But it works fine on here. So here we go. This is actually, I would say it's my favourite racing game ever. At the very least, my favourite sort of track racing game as opposed to off-road. And the idea is, you're racing a touring car in the 1998 British Touring Car Championship. We'll set the weather as sunny for now. Yes. Volvo S40, what the hell's that? Piece of junk. So you've got a number of cars from that season. You've got the Honda Accord, Audi A4, Vauxhall Vectra, Volvo S40, Ford Mondeo, Nissan Primera, Peugeot 406 and Renault Laguna. Plus the support cars, some of which are just made up, and some of which were, I think they raced them on the weekends of the BTCC. So we've got the Ford Fiesta, Van Diemen Formula Ford, never heard of that. Lister Storm, never heard of that. AC Superblower, pretty cool car. I think it was pretty much the same as a Shelby Cobra, which you may have heard of. Renault Scorpion, cracking car. You may notice these are all black because you have to unlock them. TVR Speed 12 and Jaguar XJ220, which I believe is a like prototype jobby. Weird. Anyway, if you've not heard of touring cars, I think it's pretty similar to NASCAR in the US in that they're just normal cars, but they've been souped up a bit so they can race, which is a pretty nice idea. Anyway, let's continue and choose a track. Tracks again are from the 1998 BTCC season. Which shall we go on? Shall we go on one that's the closest to me? Oh. I don't know how you unlock these bonus tracks other than putting in the cheat. Let's go something interesting. The problem is these tracks aren't terribly interesting because they're just like basic round tracks. Some of the bonus tracks are more cool. Like there's one where you're just racing downtown. Let's go Brands Hatch. Oh, I've already got the fastest lap on there. Well, let's go Alton Park then. Go, 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 novice. And here we go. Again, if you've ever tried to play this game on Windows 7, at the very least the 64-bit version, you'll probably know that it doesn't actually get this far. It just stays on the menu forever. I think I read that the reason is because it takes an hour or so to actually load the track, but there's a little patch that you can get to fix that, as you can plainly see, and we'll link to it in the description. So let's qualify. I'll point out that I am using an Xbox 360 controller and it works absolutely perfectly. And I'm not very good at this game, so expect crashes. Not the game crashing, I mean me crashing. So here we go. Fairly standard sort of racing sim. It isn't realistic enough to require a steering wheel, I wouldn't have said. Although, playing it with a keyboard isn't a terribly pleasant experience. Doing pretty well so far. There's not really much else to say at this stage, I'm just racing myself. Yeah, if you don't know what the qualifying lap is, basically, every racer does a qualifying lap, and whoever does it fastest starts first on the starting grid, and then it goes back from there. So obviously the idea is to not prioritise. I don't know what the word is where you were. Oh crap! That's what you get when you don't pay attention. I don't know what the word is I'm thinking of. Well, anyway, you've got to make the fastest time you can. This track's very short, I noticed, because this is the starting grid already. Or is it? Yep, it is. There we go. So there's a qualification. Let's see how far I got. I can't imagine I'd got very far in front because of that slip. Yeah, 13th. Not so good. I did better than Peacocks, though. And G. Morbidelli. Didn't do better than P. Radish, though. But he's from Birmingham. That's a crap joke. So, here we go. The actual race. Normally the races in this have... You've got a sprint race, which is 3 laps, and you've got a feature race, which is 8 laps. You may be aware that in real life races are very, very long indeed, but having a racing game that's got that... Oh, well there goes Radish, and there's somebody else as well. I can't remember what I set to look around buttons. Oh well, don't matter. I can just look through my mirror at the top. Now, I believe in the single races they're pretty lenient. You can just ram into people, so it's a bit more of a destruction derby if you want it to be. Or is it a destruction derby? Or is Derby the place? I don't know. But in the actual championship races that you can play, they are quite strict. Even in the manual it says they won't tolerate you crashing into people on purpose. Which is fair enough, because it means you've got a bit of an unfair advantage. And if we were playing with more realistic rule set, then you would probably get your car ruined if you did that. Anyway, that's by the by, we're not doing a championship race at the moment. Sorry Thompson, I may have broken your window a little bit. Now, there's a few different camera angles that you can use. I'm using this sort of higher up one at the moment, so that I can see the track ahead of me. There's also the inside the car, which has for some reason dropped me down to 30 FPS. That doesn't usually happen. I like the idea of being inside the car, but I can barely see where I'm going. You've also got the bumper cam. This is the bumper cam, sorry. That was the bonnet cam. And back to the normal one. Who's that? Is that Radish? Stupid Radish, get out of the way. Oh, I'm in first. Excellent. Yep, it's Radish. Why are you even still racing, mate? Did that guy have Ultron on the back of his, yeah, Ultron. Or the age thereof. Oh, well, there you go. That's why they call these novice races. We'll probably try a championship race later on. And maybe try a support car race as well. The support cars are a little bit harder to drive, I think. Mainly because, well, I don't know. They don't seem to handle quite as well. Which maybe is part of the challenge. It will have been done on purpose, because again, this is a quasi-simulation. Quasi, that's not a word that's used often enough. Quasimodo. A lot of people say quasi, I don't know whether that's the correct way to pronounce it. But Quasimodo sounds a bit like some 50s sci-fi villain. My name is Quasimodo, bow to me, or something along those lines. What am I on about? Something that they don't, at least I don't think they do, in this game is, in the actual BTCC races, they have a car that drives in front of all the races, which is like the support car. I'm not really sure what it's there for. It's just maybe so they don't go too fast or something, but I haven't watched a touring car race all the way through, that's why I'm not really sure about anything. Well, I would like to... Whoa, skidded a little bit there. I would like to watch some all the way through just because I like the cars. Hooray! I winned! Now, I actually have this game on PlayStation as well, and you know I mentioned earlier about the instruction manual saying don't crash into other cars because you get punished. The one in the PlayStation says ramming other cars is part of the game, so I have the feeling that the PlayStation one is catered to a very different market. Let's not race again, thank you. And there we go, I've won a race on Alton Park on novice difficulty level. I can now play this track on standard. Excellent. Standard is quite a bit harder. And back to the main menu. Right, let's have a look at the championship then. I will load my game. What? I'm sure I saved my game before. Well, whatever, let's start. Difficulty. Standard, yeah, there we go. Again, Ford Mondeo, just because it's a nice car. It's the one I always used when I was little.
Welcome to the all-new British Touring Car Championship. We have big rule changes for this year, including one-lap qualifying sessions and 2 different types of race. A short sprint race, followed by a longer feature race, where strategy will come into play for the new compulsory Formula 1 style pit stops. So the opening rounds are here at the super-fast Thruxton circuit. And we're really being spoilt by the weather here today. It's lovely and sunny with not a cloud in sight.
there we go. I'm just going to go and find out what the name of that guy is. I'm pretty sure it says it on the back of the box. Back in a sec. I was wrong, it doesn't say it on the back of the box. I wonder where I've seen it then. I've seen it somewhere, I just can't remember where. I did look in the manual as well and it doesn't say. Disappointing. Anyway, something I didn't show you before. You can actually change your tyres and suspension and stuff. But I'm not really sure how it works. Slicks, intermediates or wets. I'm not. Again, I don't know what any of this does. I'm not massively into cars. So, this means nothing to me. This means about as much to me as Vienna does. Yeah, well, you know, I'm just going to leave it as it is. So let's do the qualifying lap.
So on we go to the first qualifying session of the day. The new TOCA rules for qualifying give the drivers only one lap to prove their mettle before the race itself begins. With only one mistake from the drivers sending them to the back of the grid, tension should be very high indeed.
I think I'm not entirely sure where they got the rules from on this. I think it's a mixture of official rules because this game was released before the 1998 season. I think it's a mixture of official rules and sort of made up stuff. I think the compulsory pit stop is something that they made up, as well as the two different types of race. But I could be completely wrong. Anyway, here's the qualifier I'm going to do really well this time. You'll notice that I'm sort of juddering instead of steering smoothly. That's because I'm using an Xbox controller. If you wanted smooth steering, then I would recommend using an actual steering wheel. Unfortunately, I can't afford one of them. Patron. What? Sorry. Yeah, this is a pretty easy track. Again, the tracks are quite simple. They're not like... I seem to recall there was a track in Forza 2 which had a really weird bend that you had to sort of do a really sharp turn and then go downhill. It was like... I can't remember what they called it, but it was quite tough to get past. Me and my dad would play on Forza 2 quite a lot. Wonder if you want to play this with me.
At the full rundown of lap times.
Yes.
So, at the end of the session, taking his first pole of the year, it's the 95 champion John Cleland.
John Cleland, what a lad.
Well,
Where am I?
Poor lap from the new Ford driver is going to make point scoring difficult in the race.
14th, that's ridiculous. You can see the very minor difference between the times actually. It's all about... I still can't think of that word that I'm thinking of. It's a word used to describe shaving off like seconds from your time. It's the sort of word you use to describe like minimising walking times in Age of Empires of your villagers. That's the best way I can put it, really.
So the engine revs rise as the drivers wait for the start of the day's sprint race.
Go, 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 go! And here we go. Since it's on standard, it's going to be quite a bit more difficult than the previous race. The manual does have a lot of tips as to how to... God, that guy just rammed that guy. They're on the same team and all. What's all that about? Being maniacs. Okay, well, I'm losing quite badly here. I've found that ramming into the other cars is a good way to lose momentum on corners. So you don't have to slow down as much and you can just sort of brush against them to lose momentum and possibly send them spinning off as well, which is always fun. Hey, get lost. He's defending the line. I think that's the term that they use when you block somebody off. Get out of the way, Cox. I do wish I had a steering wheel because they do seem like a lot of fun to use. Excuse me, coming through. Ah yes, 13th. Better than nothing. Volvo S14. Hey! Get out of my way! Who needs to brake around this car? Oh, I need to brake around this tight corner here. Look at you all. Look at you. Get out of the way. Yeah. Now, the compulsory pit stop is in the feature race, which is the 8-lap one that comes after this one. and it can throw you off quite a lot. I think possibly the trick is to have your pit stop quite early on so that not many people can pass you. Oh! I think the trick with the skidding was to like turn into your skid and not transform into it, but turn the direction that you skid into and make it last a lot less time, for lack of a better term. I've noticed that the AI races take the outside lane quite a lot, and that's something I was watching Nigel Mansell racing, and he took the outside lane to try and overtake someone. It actually worked pretty well for him. Something that I've noticed, all the other cars seem to be faster than mine. Is that because they've done all the business with the gears and all that I couldn't understand? Well, we'll see. That red guy just slowed down a bit. Screw you guys! Oh dear! It's alright. It's alright. I'm still in the game. 4 laps? Hang on a minute. Oh, maybe it's because I'm on a higher difficulty. There's more laps. Ah, because it says in the manual that the sprint races are 25% the length of the feature races. That means the feature race is going to be 16 laps. Oh gosh, that's a long race. Well, I'm not going to win this, that's for sure. It's all about cutting down your time and finding the way to... again, that word, it's something eyes, as in maximise or prioritise. Somebody put in the comments which word I'm thinking of, because I can't think of it. I've been trying to think of it for weeks, actually. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, now it's on the floor, I'll have to go and get it. I can't be bothered. Yes, that was a terrible joke, I apologise. It's the sort of joke you expect from your dad. Oh, here comes somebody. Coming up my rear. You can go quite fast around this corner, just if you're going too fast and you try and turn too much, then you will skid quite uncontrollably. Can I catch up?
Final lap. Repeat, this is the final lap.
Thank you. Wonder what that guy's name is. Maybe it's Jeff. Maybe it's cousin Jeff. Oh, I thought I was going to skid again then. Fortunately, I didn't. No, I'm not getting any closer, am I? I think I'm going to have to settle for 8th. I think the championships work on a points-based system, which is a little bit like how Mario Kart works. This makes sense to me. So I won't completely lose by coming 8th. I won't win, but I'll still have some points, and I'll be able to rake it back if I drive well enough and don't skid all over the place. This isn't like one of them races where if you go on the grass you get a time penalty. I'm not really sure what them rules are. Maybe it's Formula 1 or something, I don't know. Plato? Isn't he a Roman bloke? Why is he racing? Get back in your chariot, mate. I like that noise when you go over them things. Time for photo finish. Oh yeah, straight into the wall. I bet them... Oh, did you see that sign smash then? Right, let's not view the replay.
So, as the dust settles, it's the first visit to the top of the podium this year for Rickard Rydell. So the new Ford driver crosses the line in the points, but he may be slightly disappointed with that position.
You said it. Well, there we go.